Good evening, everybody. This is GC3, and I'm in the place to be here at Division Sports Network Studio, coming at you with episode number 40. And I'm starstruck because it's not every day that I have an opportunity to have a guest that's pretty much a five-star recruit. That's, ladies and gentlemen, ESPN five-star recruit. Anyways, without further ado, I got to bring on the guest of the hour. Out of Tucson, Arizona, Salpointe Catholic's own, and again, Salpointe's had a huge week. But anyways, without further ado, here is Taliyah Henderson. What's going on, Taliyah? How are you doing?
Good. Thank you for having me on here. It's great to be here.
Well, I appreciate you taking time out of your daily schedule. I know, your senior year. You just had a huge commitment, which we'll get into that here in a little bit. A lot of things going on. I mean, I know how it is because I was in your shoes about 20 years ago, so that can give kind of a hint to the viewers how old I am. And it goes by in a blur, right? I mean, how was your high school career? It just went through, right?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like last year I was a freshman. It's so crazy to say that I'm a senior. I'm about to go to college. It's like I said, crazy feeling. Excited for what's to come though.
No, that's awesome. So first of all, how was your summer? That's the first part of the episode. How was your summer?
My summer was eventful for sure. Super fun. I had the opportunity to play with Team Canada in June. That was in Colombia for AmeriCup, which is to qualify for World Championships this next year. That part was amazing. Great. It was a great experience. My first international games. And then, unfortunately, we came second to U.S. We have a little bit of a chip on our shoulder going back for next year. But, and then I went straight from that, I went to my AAU club, Jason Kidd, and we showed out. We went to the final four semifinals for our AAU team, and then unfortunately I got hurt. So
that's a bummer. I mean, I know, that's really tough. I was really excited to be able to watch, your career, especially this last year at Salpointe. I mean, I've been following, your program, you and your teammates for a few years now. It's just a blessing. I'm such a basketball fan. So I got to ask you this question. So playing with Team Canada, so in the future, because I know it will happen, Olympics, are you going to go with Team Canada or Team USA?
I know that's definitely an opinion, but I'm going with Team Canada. I've kind of committed to Team Canada now that I've played there, and I plan on continuing with Team Canada. Going back to my roots. I was born there, so and I have tons of family over there.
Wow.
So kind of just this is my way of supporting them. I live in the States, so it's like I'm here every day. I get to see I get to have wonderful opportunities, but to be able to play for my homeland, my country, being able to just wear Canada on my chest is exciting. Awesome.
No, that's awesome. I know, your dad was saying at your commitment, your mom is, from Canada, correct?
Yes, sir.
That's awesome.
We're born in.
All right, so let's get into the. Oh wow! Okay.
Same hospital, same city.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, and it was just nice, being able to attend your commitment, on this last Friday, and just hearing the story and even seeing your other family in attendance. That was really nice. To have it. And I love the way you did it. Like everybody does hats. Yours was different. It was a video and it was super cool. I really like how they grabbed clips from different highlights of your career and boom. I was floored. I had people texting me during the event. They're like, hey, George, where's she going? The live stream's not working. I'm like, I don't know. Where do you think? I go, I don't know. I'm thinking West Coast. I have no idea. And boom. When I saw I was like, wow, that makes it interesting. Now I'm gonna have to get some gear, definitely, to support you, and I'll definitely still be watching your career. And you guys are playing in the ACC, so that's one of my favorite conferences in basketball on the men's and the women's side. So very exciting. So going to the big news again, for those of you who don't know, I mean, it's been just exploding across the internet, the World Wide Web, that you committed to the University of North Carolina. So what made you decide to commit to the Tar Heels, and kind of what advice could you give the future players, younger players that are coming up on like the recruiting process? And it's a huge decision, so I'll let you go ahead and elaborate.
Yeah. Well, I was blessed to have a family where my two parents went D1. My dad went D1 for football, and my mom went D1 for basketball. So they kind of had an idea of how to look for college, right? I go to a college prep high school, right? So, and academics have been a really important part of my life. So that was definitely a factor. I want to study journalism, sports journalism, and broadcasting. So, and that's one of the top, like, I think it's one of the top schools for, in the nation for that degree. So being able to have that check off, the athletic, was amazing. The staff was absolutely incredible. As soon as Coach Banghart called me for my offer, they were just calling my phone, and not in a bad way, but they were genuinely like interested in me, right? Like they knew that I mean, at least they said that they're late to the party. I disagree because I was blessed to have many opportunities and offers early. Technically, this is like the time you're supposed to choose. But they were calling me. They made sure to keep their boundaries, but like every call was interesting. Every call was like making sure that they made sure that I knew that they wanted me. And then when I got on campus, first of all, that was very beautiful. Chapel Hill is an amazing city, which kind of played a part in it, considering I live in a desert. So it was a big change for me. But also just like we sat down with Coach Banghart for a good hour and a half, and we talked about player development. I have goals and aspirations. One, to be in the Olympics for Team Canada. Other is to go in the WNBA, go overseas, be able to be one of the greats. And I established that early with Coach Banghart, but having to sit down for an hour and say, like, here is how I'm going to help you get better. Not year by year, but day by day. Day by day, we're going to work on this. We're going to work on this. By summer, we should be have this accomplished. So then we're going to take the next step. And it's just like the amount of detail that went into this like plan for me was incredible. Like I have no words for it. You couldn't, and it wasn't like a plan that you could you could copy and paste, right? There's sometimes schools kind of do that, like the copybook, that kind of giving you an overview, but you could tell how like invested she is, with not just me, but her players as well. Watching practice, seeing how much effort, and like I call her like a scientist, like she's a scientist of the game. Yeah, so that part. Another thing, my last thing, I kind of ties it all together, is family feel. Like if I were to do it all over again, I would look for the same feeling. And I think that's advice that definitely I could give to the players that are going through the same process as me. Is like everybody says family feel, and like gear is amazing, facilities is amazing, but that feeling that you feel when you're like, man, this is really home, is something that you have to go chase. For me, that was North Carolina. I stepped on it. I knew that like the coaches had me, the academics were perfect, the opportunities to have like be great were there for both on the court and off the court. And I knew that like my parents knew too. Like my parents knew that like if they left me in North Carolina, that I would become a better person on and off the court. So, yeah. Sorry, I talked a little bit long, but.
No, it's perfect. Like, again, people are going to want to know this stuff. Like, I got parents of, young athletes that are still coming up, and they watch my podcast and they love when I interview, the players, just so they can kind of share what they're going through in their playing career. And like, this is like huge, just talking about, the process and the experience that you went through, because it's very critical. And I can't say that I never went through any process like that. Closest I've been was I've helped, student athletes with their process, but it's a whole different perspective when you and your parents, you guys are going on all these visits. I mean, you guys went on quite a few visits. I know.
Yeah,
I lost count. But so the next part of it, we're gonna come take a few steps backward and talk about your high school career. So, like I asked Hannah earlier, you won two state your state champion twice in your career. You won your freshman year and you won your junior year. So was it a little different from your freshman year to your junior year? Like, in winning it, like, was kind of the goals a little bit, it was similar, but the fine details were a little different.
Yeah. When I walked into Salpointe and I had the opportunity to be a freshman on varsity, to be able to start, that in itself was incredible because it was such a talented team, right? I got the ability to have like people push me that were better than me, that were willing to give me advice. And they had this culture there that, especially me and Hannah, and all the freshmen, there's 5 freshmen on varsity, which is usually unheard of. We all like got adjusted to this culture where it's like, hey, last year we were runner up, and I hate that feeling. I understand that feeling. I got second place with Team Canada, and that hurts, right? You have a chip on your shoulder for the next year, right? That was how they came into it, and we came into every game like that. Every game was preparation for that. There was a lot of people that doubted us in both my freshman year and my junior year. They had a lot of stuff to say about us, but in the end, we fought together. We played together. We didn't let adversity deter us from our goals. We kept those goals in mind before every game, before every practice. We want the ball on the trophy with the ball, not the women on the cup. That was our motto the whole year. And unfortunately, I won't say unfortunately, because my sophomore year we were able to go Elite 8, which was something that no Southern Arizona team was able to do. And unfortunately, we got the best of us, but then that had us on the chip on our shoulder again to be able to go to junior year and be able to win a state championship.
Now let's pivot to the next part of, Mom told me that you're getting into coaching and you're coaching the youth. So how is that going? That's amazing. Thank you for doing that.
Of course. Tucson is pretty small, and it's not necessarily known for basketball. And I want to give young girls the same opportunities that I got, and try to have them here in Tucson. I know a lot of people try to move, and that for some people that works for them. But, I know people don't always want to leave, and, I want to help pay it forward. Like I said, I had the opportunity to have a great career in Arizona. So, I coach 8th graders. I'm on a team called Trailblazers. They're incredible. I got to coach them a few months back, a different team. They were great. I have some bumps in my road because it's a different thing. I started this when I actually was injured the first time. So being able to come back to it and still be surrounded by the game while I can't play, I mean, it's great. I got to meet my new girls today, my new team. They're great. I threw a lot at them, and they were able to overcome it. So it's a good testament of what our season's going to look like. And I'm excited.
No, that's amazing. I mean, not a lot of kids step up to are willing to do that, and it shows your character, willing to donate your time and just to help the next generation coming up. I mean, I'm kind of the same way. Basketball, although my career was cut short after high school,
Mhm.
the game has been really good to me, and I just want to give back. I'm also in that state of mind, is finding ways to give back and just to help the next generation. So the last thing on our show is, what are your two goals for the season? I know you're not playing this season,
Mhm.
but I know you may still have goals to help your team out, and we just discussed that off air. So if you want to share.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, as you know, I'm not able to unfortunately be helping on the court, but I am still going to give my team my 110% effort, energy, support. There's a lot of things I learned this kind of last year, but also just there's a lot of things you don't recognize from the court, right? So obviously you got to listen to your head coach, but coming from someone that's done both and knows the offense and then sees the things, it's kind of just giving heads up, right? Like, hey, what do you see? Oh, I see this. Well, they're in this certain thing. Try this, right? It's just certain tips, but honestly, it's more just support, right? My team's been with me thick and thin throughout my years of high school, through my first injury to this one, through all my ups and downs, literally everything. Hence why they were at my commitment party. They're such a big part of my life. So yeah, being able to just kind of support them as they do me, that's kind of my goal, to make sure for the younger girls that are either coming to Salpointe or have just started the team, to let them know that like how the culture works, right? Not trying to twist any culture. Like, our culture is strong. The way we do things here works, and kind of making sure that continues even after I leave.
No, and that's awesome. Again, like I've seen it. Tradition never graduates, and South Point has that tradition. Both on the men's and the women's teams for basketball. It's just, well, actually at the athletic program, because I mean, where I went to high school, it was kind of a similar deal. We were excellent in almost every sport that we offered on campus. So that's just refreshing. That's why I'm so drawn to coming to South Point games, to cover games, because it's a lot of fun. I mean, it reminds me of when I was in school, and I can see that culture.
Yes, we do our
But
best. We do our best to put on a fun show for everybody.
absolutely, I agree. So, last thing is, do you have any shout outs to anybody? Feel free to send any shout outs on the show to any of your friends, family, viewers out there.
Um, Honestly, as much as I'd love to name names, we'd probably be here till the sun came up. So the people that know me, the people that follow my Instagram, the people who follow my Twitter, the people that know me in person, anybody that has taken interest, supported me, even watched my videos, like I appreciate you. I appreciate everything. I appreciate you, Mr. Courtney, for having me on air, for being at my commitment party, for being a big part of my life and helping further my career. I appreciate everybody.
Thank you so much. Well, you know what? It's a school night. I got class myself tomorrow morning. So, again, thank you so much for joining us on the show, and have a great rest of your weekend, whatever few hours we have left.
Of course. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, guys. So that wraps up episode number 4. That's 5-star Taliyah Henderson. And thank you guys for joining us. Until next time, peace out.